Good evening, everyone. This is Rochelle with Best Choice Realty. I'm the designated broker and owner for the company. We are going to be doing conference call number 12 this evening, ratings, reviews, and referrals. We're going to cover quite a bit of ground tonight. This is the last conference call of the sequence, and then we start at conference call number 1 next Monday. So thank you for being on our conference call sequence. If you're joining us for the last time. Just a couple housekeeping things before we get started. Just want to let you guys know we do these on Monday nights from 5:30 to 6. We cover an outline. I do send out a recorded call if you'd like to get the recording. If you missed a call from conference call 11, 10, 9, if you missed something, you want to review what we covered, you're welcome to send me an email, and I'll be happy to send you the recording. If you have questions, during, before, or after the call, you also can send me an email. I'd be happy to share with you any kind of attachments or scripts that we go over, so that if you have questions along the way, you're welcome to email me. My email address is Rochelle, RACHELLE, at bestchoicerealtywa.com, or you can call the office and we can assist you in that fashion as well, whatever's easiest. Okay, so conference call number 12, we're going to talk about an overview of ratings and reviews, and then give you guys some ideas on how to really build your business by way of referral. An overview of ratings and reviews. Some people ask me, why do I do a call like this where we talk about ratings and reviews? And it stems a lot because of my knowledge about how online review systems are done. And I've been a big advocate for the past 7 to 8 years on really driving ratings and reviews, making sure that as an agent or as a broker, you have access to several different resources. You know how to create these review systems, and then you can get your clients to review you so that you have better traction when somebody Googles your name or when somebody Bings your name. You want to be able to come up, because most of the time when consumers are looking for a real estate agent or broker to work with, they're going to Google you or Bing your name, and they're going to want to make sure that you at least have some sort of online footprint. It is a big deciding factor for the millennial generation, for those that are in their early 20s up until maybe late 20s, early 30s. That's kind of into your generation, X and Y. But for the most part, you want to make sure that you're connecting with some of those younger generation buyers and sellers. And most of those people go online and check you out. If you haven't, if you don't know that this is true, you can ask anybody in that generation what they would do to locate their buying agent or their seller's agent, and they will tell you that they probably did some research on their agent before they made a decision. So ultimately, I want to reinforce in your mind how important having an online image is. And at Best Choice Realty, we do a great job of helping you get that established and providing you with free resources to assist you in getting your online image put together. Part of having an online image, though, is asking for your clients to review you. Why do you want to have reviews? Well, that will build more credibility. So I'm going to talk about why you want to do it. Obviously there's a lot more attraction for the younger generations of doing research on their real estate agent. Companies like Amazon, Angie's List, Yelp, those are some big companies. They drive a ton of website traffic because they have reviews. And it's no different for real estate agents as well. I want to talk to you guys about when and how and who you should be asking for reviews with, and where are some good places where you can review. So you want a simple system. So there's places like Zillow and Trulia, which if your clients are very tech savvy and they're already using those websites like Zillow and Trulia or possibly Redfin, then they're already used to rating and reviewing their service, or they have login and password with those websites. But that's not the only place that you can ask for reviews. There's a company called Reach 150, REACH 150, and they allow for 3 reviews that you can connect with your profile. And then after it's 3 reviews, then it's $19 a month for additional reviews. But that might be a good place to start, just so you can get more of a footprint or more reviews on your website. And that does not require a client to set up a login and password. That allows them just to review you on your website. You can simply just ask them to write you a review and have them email it to you. That would be more of a testimonial, not a review that's backed by a website. And testimonials are very powerful, especially when they're sharing information about how you conducted yourself while showing them properties, while meeting with them and making big decisions, things that really show your true character. Those types of things could be written into a testimonial and emailed to you. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a review that is on Zillow, Trulia, or Reach 150. It could simply be a review that we put or a testimonial that we put on your website. And that can easily be done just by asking the client to write up something about you. Also, there is 2 others that are all free and very easy to do and easy to write a review for the consumers. And that would be on LinkedIn and Facebook if you have a business page through Facebook. If you have LinkedIn, you have an account, all they have to do is you can ask several people to review you. And before I opened Best Choice Realty, I went ahead and sent an email out to all of my acquaintances and colleagues I work with, and I got several reviews. And it definitely helped build my online profile and establish Best Choice Realty as a established brokerage. So that was very simple to do, and then all I had to do is have a LinkedIn account and then send all my clients my link to LinkedIn and ask them to place a review on my profile. And Facebook Business, also very simple. It's easy for them to rate you with a star rating or your business and to create a comment or 2. And be prepared. Sometimes a client may not give you 5 stars. They might only give you 4 stars. And that's okay. It obviously shows there's credibility or it's a viable information. And I've not always been all 5 stars. I mean, there's been people who have rated me only 4 or 4.5. And that's okay. It definitely shows that you're human. We also want a review system that's very genuine, and we're working on a system right now to make it simple for you guys to actually ask for reviews from your website and then have them place a star rating and a simple little testimonial. I find some of these surveys and some of these client testimonials or review systems are very lengthy, and what I'm looking for is a very simple system where you can ask a consumer to provide you with some feedback and then place a star rating. And that's what I'm looking for Best Choice. So when should you ask your clients for reviews? Really, you should be asking your clients to give you a review when you're working with them, when you're actually showing them properties, when you're actually out meeting with them at a listing appointment. If you are, you're helping them with a challenging transaction and you do something really good or you're helping them, it would be great for them to write something about that, even if it's as simple as a simple email to you. How would you ask them to write a review for you? The simplest one is just a simple email that I sent out. I have a couple templates that you're welcome to borrow from me. And I guess not borrow, you can have. I'm very transparent. But the email I wrote is really, I'll read it to you tonight. I have a huge favor to ask of you. My business is largely built on the kind of support I receive from my current and past customers. I am a premier agent on some popular real estate websites. My profile page allows for customer recommendation, and I would be very grateful if you take a few minutes to post a recommendation or review for me at the following link. And then I place the link into the email, and then in the conclusion of my email, it says, since I'm a firm believer in taking good care of my clients, there's a little treat waiting to be mailed for sharing your time and thoughts by doing this. And then I do give them when the review is completed, I like to send them a handwritten note with a Starbucks gift card or a $5 Amazon card, something very simple for doing the review. And just a small token of my appreciation for them taking the time to write a review. And that's how you can build more. So it's all how you do it, either an email or when you're working with them, if you wouldn't mind just writing a review on my website, I'd really appreciate it. I'll send you a link after we get done today. If you wouldn't mind just taking a minute and just filling that out, it won't take you longer than a minute. I think that goes a long way because you're reemphasizing that, hey, I'm going to send you an email after we go look at some homes. They know it's coming. They know that it's very important to your business if they have given you feedback. So how you do it is usually at an email or after your first appointment or after the deal closes. I wouldn't wait until after the deal closes. More people, more agents are asking for reviews earlier on in the process. Who should you ask to rate you or to review you? I would say everyone. There's no reason why you shouldn't. If you have an online profile, you should ask everyone to rate and review your services. There's plenty of reports. Even Glenn Kelman at Redfin has provided some information about reviews and why it's important to provide reviews. He's the CEO of Redfin, and he says that a lot of his business has been built because of the transparent nature that they have on their website, where they are allowing the consumers to give the real estate brokers feedback on their service. And I think it's very credible to think that the reason that Redfin's become very big is because of that transparency and how much they value the consumer, or they appear to value the consumer, through some of their systems they put in place. Could you replicate some of those ideas? Absolutely. And I think that we're approaching 2016, and with companies like Amazon, Angie's List, Yelp, Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, online companies that are out there, you need to really set yourself apart, but also not look like you are not up with the times, that you are embracing technology and the online way of doing business. Let's jump into why do referrals. And I want to really dig into that concept, because a lot of the business, in fact, when I set up Best Choice Realty, I set it up where we had the ability to generate leads and put a program in place to do that. And what we found is that more of the brokers that joined Best Choice Realty already had referral networks established. And most, not all, but most of the brokers that work for Best Choice Realty already have their referral network set up. How did they strategize? How did they create these types of relationships to yield them more business and obviously get them more on their investment? Some of them are not paying a lot of money to Zillow and to Trulia to really build their business profiles or to build their business, the transactions that they're going to complete in 2016. And I can tell you, because I've interviewed a lot of people, that the agents that produce at a high level are very balanced, and they also have a very strategic plan. So I'm going to break out tonight in the next 15 minutes and tell you guys what these agents are doing that are yielding them a lot more transactions than you probably are getting right now. And they're doing it not by paying a lot of money. They're doing it on referrals. And how do they do it? They approach networking for referrals as a strategic relationship activity. It's something that it comes natural to them. In fact, that's how they are with people. They're very people-oriented, and they have kind of a concierge kind of service mindset when they start their business. They're very proactive and very strategic, and they have come up with a target group, maybe several target groups. I think I've sat down with a few of them that have come through Best Choice Realty or that have thought about coming over, and they've established, or they're in the process of establishing, their target groups. They may pay for a Zillow zip code, but that's not where they get most of their business from. They have established maybe a group of people that they work with in the PTA. They have their social media network. They have their church network, or they have their quilting club. But whatever that may be, they have established their target groups. And then what they've done is focused on the relationship. For them, it's all about creating a win-win communication, open dialogue, and where they are genuinely interested in that other person that is either purchasing or selling. And they've created those relationships in such a strategic way that they've been able to maximize the return. So that one client ends up referring another client who refers another client. And pretty soon, that one client that they only had when they joined Best Choice Realty, and if they're asking for the business and asking for that relationship and really focusing in a very genuine way, they end up getting more clients that come right behind that one. So it comes with a strategy. So we're going to talk about what the strategy needs to be, and then what I would do is write these key points down from here on out, and then maybe establish your own strategy as far as how you're going to get more referrals. So number one, the first thing that they do is, what's the plan? They've identified what is your plan, to get more referrals, and then so what is your goal? Basically is what that means. They have a goal. Maybe they want in 2016 to hit, 36 transactions. That's 3 a month. They know what they want to hit. Maybe they didn't have such a good year this year. Maybe they only did a 1 or 2 transactions this year, and they really want to take that 1 or 2 transactions and not do 1 or 2 this year. In 2016, they actually want to do maybe triple that. Maybe they want to do 6 deals next year. But you need to write down what's your plan or what the goal would be. That's number one. And all the top producers do this. They do this every year, and they focus on the plan. The next thing, number 2, you want to identify who you are targeting. So write that down. Who will you be targeting with your plan? Some of the people I've worked with, they said, you know what, Rochelle, I had an okay year. Maybe I only worked with buyers. And I said, you know what, maybe only having 2 transactions, maybe if you opened yourself up to working with more sellers, you could have a better balanced business, meaning that you could actually take your 2 deals and make it into 5 or 6 very easily. So who are you targeting? Identify, is it buyers? Is it sellers? Is it both? Identify who are these people? What kind of groups are you thinking about? It might be the alliance partners. It might be my past clients. It might be my kids' friends' parents. It could be my lender partner. It could be the community group that I belong to. It could be other agents, other coworkers that I work with that maybe don't work in my area. There are many different buckets or lists of people that you could reach out to just by looking at your circle of influence. So you want to identify who are you targeting. I would recommend having at least 3 targeted groups that you could work with. So for me tonight, I could pick, I'm going to do a better job with my closed clients. I'm going to do a better job with my alliance partners, and I'm going to do a better job with my friends of my family. Some of my family is a lot younger, and so it's going to be a tricky demographic that might actually stem where I need to spend more time in my Facebook, which I don't like Facebook too much, but it's a necessary way to get after some of my family's friends that are looking at moving or moving up or downsizing. So again, I want to identify, don't spend too much time on this, just on your sheet of paper, what's your plan, what's your goal, number 1. Number 2, who are you targeting? List out 3 different sources of business or targeted lists that you could work. Maybe it's for sale by owners. Maybe it's your neighborhood, just your geographic area where you live. Again, you want to identify who are you targeting. Number 3, what's your objective? So you have to really equate it. So maybe your plan was to have, 6 transactions, in the next 12 months. But what's the objective? To speak with, what is your goal? What's your mini goal? I guess that's the objective, to hit the plan. So like, for example, my plan might be, let's use the example of my sphere of influence because that's going to be a challenge for me. I've got my past clients. I've got a good system in place for them, but I'm going to use the family, like my family friends. What's my plan? So my plan is I want to have some of my business come from social media or from Facebook. Who am I going to be targeting? I'm going to be targeting my the friends of my family members, okay, who are looking to buy or sell a home in the next year. What's my objective? Well, I'm going to reach out to at least 2 people every week in my Facebook that is related to my family or has some sort of association. to, check in with them and let them know I'm in the business. How will you do it is number 4. So number 4, what I'm kind of leading into that. How will I do it? I'm going to check in with them. I'm going to send them out a birthday card. I'm also going to attempt to get their addresses from my family so that I can send them some sort of direct mail piece. So taking Facebook and really putting it into a traditional element. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is number 5 is I want to assess the expected return on the investment. So how much money and time is it going to take me to actually meet my goals? So number 5 is expected return on my investment. So as far as spending money, it's going to take me some time every week to make those contacts. And it's also going to cost me for some sort of mail piece that I'm going to send them every month. So it probably would cost me, I would say, if I've got 20 or 30 I need to reach out to every month, that's going to cost me with postage and with the design work, maybe $50 a month. So I'm going to write that down on my expected ROI. And then the last step of having a strategic referral system is that you want to do number 6, which is to track and evaluate the referral source after a certain period of time. So I would say after about 6 months, mid-summer next year, I'm going to sit down and establish, was that successful? Was the monthly mailing that I was doing to that group of people, was the weekly touch points via Facebook effective? And was there a transaction or 2 that came from that effort? And if not, I want to discontinue that strategy or make modifications along the way to make that a stronger system. So again, it's this whole little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this kind of, if you will, strategy can work for all different types of plans and different groups that you're working with. For example, my local community where we live. I had a plan that I'd like to take 1 listing in my neighborhood. Who am I targeting? Well, I want to target my neighbors within a mile radius. What's my objective? I want to go door knock and introduce myself as the neighborhood real estate agent in that community and hopefully get a listing. That would be my objective in the next 6 months. How will I do it? Well, I kind of am going to go and door knock, but also I need to probably think about how I'm going to get that listing. So I'm going to need to probably come up with a marketing plan to make that happen. What's my expected return on the investment? Well, maybe I need to go back and do some more adjustments to how am I going to do it, meaning I might need to belong to the homeowners association, or I might need to join the city, and participate more in the politics that are around my neighborhood, because it's a big deal for people right now. So there's some things I can go back and work on, but a good strategic plan for referrals will have it written down in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then always be looking at how you can better target and focus on the relationships throughout the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plans. Now, when you're looking at the different buckets, and again, we're going to talk next week about the different buckets. We start the system over, and we talk about where you can find the business. But let's give you some ideas tonight on ways you can go after your targeted groups. So you've got several different buckets, the way I like to put it, where you can work. And I would say you need a sphere of influence. And most agents come to Best Choice Realty with a pretty good sphere of influence. They have several family and friends and past clients and their kids' friends and their kids or their, they've got a sphere of influence that's really tight where they already are good at maybe doing some family gatherings or some events, or they're looking to do that in the next little bit. That's a good bucket that you could work with, or a network that you could establish some referrals that come from that. Just plain and simple, by you having a dinner at your house or a party once a month or every other month, you can drive people to that sphere of influence. I have he's an adopted grandpa, and he comes over for dinner, every month, and he's probably one of my biggest referral sources because he's referred in the last 6 months, he's referred at least 5 clients to me that have come because they know, he knows I'm in the business. He knows I'm actively looking for people in my neighborhood, in my area, and he's outspoken and he's very good at working with people. So he's a huge advocate for me and somebody that I want to definitely invite to my family get-togethers and my family dinners because he's a big advocate about what I'm doing in my business. Now, when somebody refers in your sphere of influence, you also want to make sure that you reciprocate or, in essence, thank them for that referral. So a handwritten note, a small token of your appreciation, letting them know how that conversation went, how often you're following up, just letting them know, hey, Dallas was my grandpa, my adopted grandpa. Dallas has referred you to me, and he wanted me to make sure I gave you a call right away. He also said you have a neighbor that's looking at possibly getting some more information about their property or buy their home. Would it be possible for me to connect? Would you be able to connect me with them? And it's funny how one connection leads to another connection, but don't forget to go back to that source, where that source came from, and thank them for referring such an awesome client to you. It goes a long way when you have a grateful or a thankful attitude, and you're actually going back to that referral source and letting them know that you really appreciate the type of help and support that they're giving to your business. The next bucket that I like to talk about on these calls for potential referrals is your alliance. I call it alliance partners. This would be lenders, title, insurance, people that are in kind of the similar type of business model where it's a service-oriented business. It could be an attorney that you work with. It could be, it'd be anybody that's associated with, and even inspectors. I mean, I had an inspector one time, and he always referred business to me because he knew, the type of person who I was, and it was a good match with the type of people he was interacting with. So it goes a long way to think about the type of people you're associating yourself with currently now and in the next year, and do you have the right alliance partners? For example, I had title rep. She's not allowed to really recommend, but she knows that I worked a certain area and demographic, and she thought of me when she was referring, somebody to her. It's a friend of hers in the neighborhood that I knew very well. How did she know to refer me? Well, it wasn't because she just thought of my name. My name's not easy to remember. I was constantly making sure that my alliance partners knew that I was in the business, that knew I was specializing in a certain area or a certain zip code, and they were getting the same kind of mail pieces or the same type of emails that I was sending my clients, so that they know I was active and that I was active, and I also knew the market very well. And so you can really pinpoint and get those lenders. Make sure you're taking your lenders out to coffee, not the other way around. Establish a relationship with people that you know will give you business, and they will reciprocate very nicely. Just remember to thank them and make sure that it's a good partnership. For example, there was a guy I went down, and I had to renew my car insurance policy. And it was funny because I sold him a house about a year ago. And I went to his office down in Fife, and he actually had my business cards that were sitting on his desk and also on the credenza that was in his lobby. And I was like, this is awesome. See, that type of relationship, I didn't really think I should probably build out a better job of connecting with my alliance partners. I'm leaving business on the table by not proactively going after and assisting the alliance partners with maybe additional business cards or an incentive or something like that to get that connection to work well. Then the next bucket I want to talk about, and running out of time, is the community that you work with. Think about your community in a very traditional way, but also think about your community in an online way. Your community is kind of in two different parts currently. You've got people that do your hair, maybe your alumni, social media, things of that nature. that, you want to connect with people in your community. I have some great ideas I've come up with when it comes to community. For example, maybe give your hairstylist, give them a magazine subscription with your name and your information, obviously on the to field, so that when it's sitting there in their hair salon, they've got your name and your information and phone number on the magazines. Also, the appreciation cards. Just send them appreciation. A handwritten note goes a long way with your community, just thanking them for all of the things that they've helped you with in the past year. A simple text message, just saying, I was thinking about you, I think it goes a long way. Giving different things to your community as far as support, and maybe I'm going to donate some of my commission or provide home warranties for my clients. Doing some sort of incentive, that type of system for the community might also build more credibility and awareness about what you do within your community. And that goes even for social media. You can drive a lot of people to that. Also, agents and coworkers, there are plenty of opportunities to refer business within Best Choice Realty. We handle referrals very, very well. Our conversion is very good. We have outside relationships with other brokerages in the area. In fact, we have one right now that we're still cultivating, where it's a relationship down in Vancouver that I've established with the designated broker in that office. It's in the Force down at Vancouver. And, she's giving more referrals here to Best Choice in the Puget Sound area because she knows that they're taken care of. She's even opted to go outside the Force and find another cooperative brokerage like Best Choice that can really take good care of her referrals. And it's a good referral source for us. So some of those relationships have been cultivated just because I've been on the phone, letting people know that, we're in business and here's what we're all about, and also reciprocating and making sure we send appreciation. Referrals is all about networking and approaching referrals in a strategic relationship, in like a concierge kind of service mindset. And really, it's got to be systematic, but it also has to be genuine. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong with trying to ask for referrals, is they ask for referrals kind of like, I want, or I need this to build my business. And the referrals will come when you take a service mindset, when you're about helping people get what they need, and obviously recognizing the people that are assisting you throughout the past month and even 12 months. I'll go back and send thank you cards and personal notes to people who have really done a great job of helping me build my business. And once that appreciation happens, all of a sudden, then they actually refer more business and more clients to me. So the takeaways is really ask for reviews and referrals all the time. Do so in a way that makes the client feel warm and supported. And also remember that, you got some work to do. In fact, everyone in this entire office has a lot of work to do when it comes to building their online profile and building up their referrals through the online way. If you want some additional help, I'm happy to share with you my emails, some of the other ideas I've come up with. I've got some takeaways. You're welcome to email me if you want some other ideas. I'd be happy to share some of that with you. Have a great evening, you guys. And as always, we'll see you next Monday at 5:30 to 6.